What's going on, guys? My name is Aldeniro and welcome to episode 1 of my brand new career mode where we're going to be managing Glasgow Rangers and attempting to restore them to their former glory. Now, they don't start off this game in the SPL and they're actually quite difficult to find, but having played Pro Evo before, I know what licensing issues are like and how to get around them, so I did find Rangers who were cleverly hidden by those jokers at EA Sports in the first division of English football. I don't really know what they were doing there, but nevertheless I found them. I put them into the SPL. I changed the match difficulty to beginner because I'm just a beginner, so it's going to be harder for me, so beginner level makes it harder. Of course, that is how the game works, and we get an invitation straight away to the Champions League. Now, I thought this was really surprising, but that's football sometimes, and once you put the money up for things, things happen to you. Now, I wanted some players with SPL experience at the start, so I went in for a player called Paddy McCourt, who used to play for another Glasgow-based team in Scotland, and he was pretty good at football, so I want to bring him back. I also went for a player called Lennon, because I feel as though an English centre-back would be welcome at Rangers at Ibrox. And then I went for a player called Jordan Larsson, who plays for a team in Sweden, and they're called Helsingborg. So I decided to go for players with high potential. I think the defender Lennon could have that sort of 67 or 88 type potential, so I decided to bid for him. I had to haggle a little bit with Charlton Athletic because they were a little bit reluctant to sell a player of such importance. Now, I just want to remind you guys that I'm going to be uploading daily in April, provided the target for likes gets hit. So the target for likes on this video is 6,767 likes, and if this video gets 6,767 likes, I will upload episode 2 at 2 p.m. tomorrow, so hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. I have no doubt this will reach its intended target. Now, I made a bid for Charlie Mulgrew because I thought it would be important to sign a captain with good defensive capabilities, a player who is a stalwart in any Scottish team, and a player who can lead by example and also score amazing goals. Perhaps the best dead ball specialist in Britain. Now, we start off our Champions League campaign early on in the semi-finals of the tournament as we take on Nuremberg, who are a team from Germany. They made it all the way to the semi-finals because German football ticket prices are not very expensive. Now, we started off the game with an opening goal from Poltergeist, who's playing up front. Now, I know what a licensing issue looks like, and this player is in fact John Daly, but I just didn't want to go in to edit the whole thing and change all the names to the players that they were. But Poltergeist came forward in the 7th minute once again. This time the ball didn't hit off his head and go into the goal, but he played it to another player who played it to another player who scored the goal. It was Jay Mackey coming in on his right foot from the right hand side of the pitch, and he made it 2-0 to us within just 8 minutes. So things looking pretty good for us in our Champions League campaign. It's especially interesting because Rangers had never really reached this stage of the Champions League before, but with the help of me as manager and all of these new signings that I'm making, none of which are actually playing in this game, but the mere psychological advantage of having players signed by me in a team makes a huge difference. Now, Poltergeist crossed the ball into Diego Forlin in the 38th minute, who scored, the Uruguayan international and former Man United player. See, that's what I bring to the table. Junior Hoylett made a goal in the 55th minute, and another goal was scored by another player sometime after that. So as you can see, goals are happening, football is being played, fun is being had, money is being made, and things are happening all over the world in global football. And then we came out of that game, I decided to make some signings. As you can see on the screen, I signed other players who were not featured in the game that we just played, and they are different players with different stats. Now, we went into the final of the Champions League against Frozen Yogurt from Italy, who I had never seen before, but apparently they are a rich source of calcium and they have a lion on their badge, which is very, very nice. Now, in the 12th minute of this game, the ball came in to Jordan Larsson, the former Helsingborg striker. He scored a goal, an absolutely unstoppable goal from inside the 6-yard box, which the goalkeeper could do nothing about, and then he celebrated by doing his trademark shush of the crowd. The crowd were not too happy about that, and they actually did the opposite of shushing, which I found to be pretty fucking disrespectful, to be quite honest. But as you can see from this replay, there's nothing the goalkeeper could have done. There's no way he could have got his body in the way. There is nothing he could have done. In the 27th minute, Diego Forlin plays the ball into Charlie Mulgrew, who scores a goal, and that leads us into a 2-0 lead in the second minute of the 26th minute. This was amazing play overall and an amazing somersault, which adds an extra goal onto the scoreline, making it 3-0 in total, which you would think is against the rules, but not so much. In the 45th minute, the ball came out to Adam Traore, who scored a goal, which I was really surprised about because the goalkeeper got his fists to it. Now, I'm playing on beginner difficulty, which means I'm a beginner, so the game is infinitely harder for me than it is for you guys. And I hear people say all the time, like, ooh, FIFA's really hard. It's not. It's really easy. Look at that back pass. It was amazing. It was so good the goalkeeper couldn't even control it. And a good goal scorer will score good goals, but a gooder goal scorer will score bad goals, as you saw by Diego Forlán, the former Uruguay international, getting into a great position to score. Jordan Larsson scored in the 75th minute with another thunderbolt that the goalkeeper could do absolutely nothing about. That gives us a 5-0 lead, which was enough to see off the challenge of Calcio frozen yogurt, and we win the Champions League in my second game as manager of Glasgow Rangers. This is not the first time I've committed such a feat. I have done this with other clubs, and I don't know why the eyes of world football are not placed firmly upon me. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. when this episode has 6,767 likes. I've been El Nero. Thank you so much for watching.